get involved, ask questions, feel free to stick your hand up, tweet if you want to talk to us at SPAFitty. There's guest Wi-Fi, which apparently is working despite the accusations last night. If you have any issues with it, just yell out and we can try and fix something for you. Again, safety notices: if there is a fire, earthquake, any massive natural disaster, please exit the building in a semi-orderly fashion. Toilets: females are upstairs, boys are downstairs. Anything else? Hand over to Sean.
Also, and for those of you who are Wellington Free staff, you do get CE points, CPD points for today. You'll be pleased to know you get 12 points for the whole conference, so that goes a long way towards your 40 points for the year. Well done. We'll have a form for you to fill in, and I'll file those for you with the training department. All right.
Those of you who haven't got a conference bag, feel free to grab one from the back. And I know you're all students, but don't steal an extra one. At the end of it, someone can help themselves, it'll be fine. And first up today, we have the lovely Sean. So I'll leave you to introduce yourself.
So maybe just 5 minutes and 0 minutes?
Yeah.
And how long do you do that? Done by 10:15.
What?
Did you say 10:15? That's an hour.
Yeah, that's what you asked for.
I'm not going to take that long.
Okay. We are a bit early. We're actually running ahead of time.
We're running ahead of time. That's amazing. Right. Good morning, everybody. My name's Sean. I've got a couple of hats on, but for today I just want to take all of my hats off. I'm just one of anyone else on this planet. I'm just a human being who has good points, has bad points, has good days and has bad days. And one thing that I've learned is sometimes it's really hard to keep your sanity. Staying sane in an insane world is a challenge for lots of us. And some of you will have been through some tough times in life. I've been through one or two, and I'm going to share a little bit of my story in a little bit as well. And this is going to be, I'm going to sort of mix it up a little bit. There's going to be a bit of poetry. There's going to be a bit of some stories. There's going to be a little bit of classwork because I'm a teacher and I like teaching. There's going to be some whiteboard work. I'm going to expect your involvement. And I've just found out I've got an hour to talk instead of half an hour, so we'll see how we go. Mind racing, head buzzing, mind swirling, ears fuzzing. You can't stop the hop, but the hop's got to stop. Stop. Stop race. But the race don't want to stop. Stop the pace. Try to stop this race. Stop and brace. Face the haste and the heart that race. Pace, slow, brace, don't race. Time slows, blood flows, your mind knows, and your face shows. Your heart goes to those who called and throws. It's me. I'll be your help. You'll see. We meet, our feet on firm ground, they greet. Hands mend, pains tend, and our fears bend. I'm here. We'll treat. Everyone take your pulse. You got a watch? I'll give you 15 seconds, eh? You ready, steady, go. Stop. Okay. Now you multiply that by 4 and you get pulse. If you haven't learnt that, then maybe go back over, go back over that lecture or that part of your training. Okay, just keep a mental note of your pulse. All right, I'm going to walk around a little bit for this, and I don't want you just to focus on me. I want you just to focus on where you are right now. Just as you sit right where you are, I just want you just to be. Okay, if you want to close your eyes during this, you can close your eyes. We're just going to do a little grounding exercise. Just get into a relaxed place, just sitting in your seat. Okay, any areas of tension, just let them shake out a little bit. Let your feet sit on the floor. Your legs can be down, they can be crossed, whatever you like. Just get yourselves comfortable in your seat. And as you're sitting there, I just want you to just start to notice your body. Just start to become aware of your body as you're sitting there. Notice the areas of pressure. Notice if there are any areas that are sore, painful, tense. Any parts of your body that just feel hot, itchy. Any parts that feel cool, like you have a little bit of a breeze on you. As you breathe in, just become aware of your internal organs, the sensation of the air going into your lungs. Your belly, your tummy, googling a little bit maybe. And now listen. Listen to the sounds around you. The fan up above the head. Maybe someone walking down the corridor. Maybe the sound of the person breathing beside you. And become aware of those sounds between the sounds that you wouldn't normally be aware of. The sounds of your own breathing, the sound of your own heart beating. Notice your tongue sitting inside your mouth and the tastes on your tongue. The different tastes at the different places on your tongue. The tip, the sides, and the back down into your throat. They may not all be nice tastes. That's okay too. They just are what they are. Now open your eyes and just become aware of what's around you in the room. The areas of light. The dark areas of the room. Notice any patterns that you might see. Parallel lines, circles, squares. Notice the colours that are around you. Colours that match, and maybe the colours that clash. And just as you sit there, take a deep breath in. Deep breath into your belly. And hold it. And then let it go. And take a deep breath in again. Hold it. And let it go again. And as you breathe in good stuff. Breathe in hope. Breathe in courage. Breathe in strength, resilience. And breathe out any fears you may have, any anxieties that you may have. Anything that's just bothering you or weighing on your mind, just let that go as you breathe out. Because right where you are, sitting right where you are an individual, and you are important, and you are valuable, and you have a purpose in your life. that's an exercise called grounding. Some people call it mindfulness, some people call it meditation, call it what you like. Take your pulse again. I'll give you 15. Ready, set, go. Stop. Did anyone's pulse drop a little bit? Yeah, it's supposed to. That's good. It's a normal physiological response. So that's good. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. These are my kids. There's Phoebe on the left and Leo on the right. They're cute, eh? They drive me nuts sometimes, but they're cute. So a little bit about my story. Grounding actually became a bit of a lifeline to me, and I'll tell you just a little bit why. I'm not going to tell you my whole story, you don't need to know all of that. Back in 2013, I had my wife became quite unwell, and so I thought, we had at that stage a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old, and I thought, the most important place for me right now is with my family. So I decided to take some time off work to be with my family. So we could just be a unit, just really focus on each other, just being home together, looking after each other. And thankfully I had an incredibly supportive employer who enabled me to do that. Now, a little bit of a weird personal thing, but I got a bit of hematuria. That's a bit of blood in your pee, and I didn't think about it too much, except because I'd had it a couple of times before over the preceding year, and it was always after I'd gone for a really long run. So, like, if I've been up in the hills for a couple of hours running, might have got a little bit of this hematuria. But the thing was, this time at the start of 2014, I had a broken foot. I broke my foot when I was out running one night. And I thought, that's weird, I haven't been for a run, but there's a bit of blood there. So I thought, well, I'll pop down to my GP and see what the story is. So the GP referred me on for a scan, said, it's probably nothing, but we'll get you scanned. Had a scan, referred on to the urologist. I had cancer, bladder cancer. And so, as well as, the sickness in my family and me having this time off work to look after my family, I suddenly found myself in the middle of my own diagnosis. It was completely out of the blue. Sort of completely lucky that I found it in a way. Could have gotten worse. But I was facing my own very real mortality. And when you have a diagnosis like that, if those of you have had that or know people who've had a diagnosis, whether it be big or little or whatever, your mind goes some pretty strange places. You wonder where things are going to go. And I was sort of thinking, am I going to leave these kids without a dad? It was a real question of mine. And so, I couldn't wait to get in for surgery, had this golf ball cut out of me, went through a course of immunotherapy, which sort of, rocked me around pretty badly. And I was also told, we've got it this far, but it's actually not a curable cancer. You're going to have this for the rest of your life. It might kill you, or you might die with it. We just don't know. But we'll manage it and we'll look after it. So that's what I sort of live with. And so it's sort of a little bit of a mind game that I play with myself as to what I do with this illness that I have. And, I hope for a cure, and I hope medical science, comes up with a cure for this one day. But this is what I live with. And you know what? Something I've learned is that I'm incredibly grateful that I got cancer. I'm incredibly grateful because it has taught me to slow down. It has taught me to stop, and it's taught me to appreciate things. Taught me to appreciate my family, first of all. Actually, first of all, even before my family, it's taught me to appreciate me, because I actually found I needed to start putting myself first, even before my family. Because if I wasn't well, if I wasn't looking after myself, I couldn't look after my family effectively. So it taught me a hell of a lot. Stress is a big thing, and stress was a big thing for me, and I had to learn how to manage it. Now, what I want you to do is just, with the person next to you, just have a chat about what are some of the potential warning signs of stress that you might notice in your own life, or just sort of, don't want to get too personal, but just in the life of anyone around you. What are some warning signs of stress? Have a think about them, and we're going to write some up on the board. Okay, let's just start shooting some out and we'll write them up, okay? So what are some warning signs of stress? Who's going to start us off?
Being disconnected from everything.
Heartbeat disconnected from everything. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, go
Being
on.
disconnected from everything.
Being disconnected from everything. Yeah, disconnection. Go on, Braden, that's awesome. Disconnection. Yeah. What else? Yeah, Craig.
Become part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Right, you become part of the problem. Do you want to expand on that at all? That's fascinating.
So we have a client ring up and they'll have some issue like
Yeah.
their job is security and what they I can actually resolve this, but then I'm going to be when it's like it's actually your fault. We're doing you a favour.
Yeah.
It's becoming part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Okay. Interesting. Thanks. Yeah, Roy.
Really tired, but can't sleep.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Things that would be little issues that you just let go suddenly become huge. And
Oh, right. So mountains out of molehills kind of thing. That all becomes big. Yeah.
Short-tempered.
Short-tempered, yeah. You too, eh?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Dreams.
Your dreams.
Yeah, dreams are so like go to sleep, if you can go to sleep.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have dreams about constant work or
Mm.
things that are stressful, and you end up having a really poor sleep because the dreams are really meaningful.
Yeah, good point, good one. So two things, I've got can't sleep, dreams. So quality of sleep, yeah. And you wake up tired, you wake up headachy, and you're just like, that didn't work. Yeah.
Inability to focus on some stuff.
Mm.
Keep your head input.
Yep.
Noise, background.
Great. Yes.
Kind of on that one, like quite a crowded mind, like you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
focus on one thought.
Good point.
Lots of thoughts happening at the same time and no solution.
Yeah, that internal noise, and you just sort of can't sort of filter it out. You can't just focus on one thing and do it well, but everything is there right at that moment, hey? Yeah, Sheena.
So a lot of physical signs, things like headaches, indigestion, big bowels.
Great, yeah. So yeah, physical signs, absolutely. So headache. Bowel problems. And digestion you said as well, was it? Yeah. Right. Yes, up the front, hey.
Radical decisions.
Radical decisions.
So just
Yep.
like making really like bad decisions really quickly.
Yeah. So it's sort of like a bit of a lack of judgment as well. Yeah. So I'll just say, I like that, radical decisions. I like it. Yep.
I like changing eating habits,
Mm.
like whether you binge eat or don't eat or
Yeah.
like alcohol and drugs, I guess, like, you know, binge drinking or taking drugs that you usually don't.
Good one. So I'll say, yeah, drug taking as well. just before we get on, I will just mention that I was going to say what's said in this room stays in this room, but the other thing is that we are being recorded. Your faces will be blurred out for the live stream. Your voices will be changed for the live stream that's happening right now. Just putting that out there. Sorry, come back to your head. Yeah, Emily. Reduced immunity, yeah, you're right. And how does that sort of manifest, perhaps? Yeah. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Roy.
Maybe emotional swings.
Yeah. Cool. Let's leave it there. That's a really good list. It's really important to be aware of these and other things in yourself and in other people. There might be some things there that you're actually thinking, hang on, that's me. I wasn't really aware that was a problem. Maybe it is a problem. Maybe I should just sort of think about that a little bit more. Okay, because what I want to sort of impress on you is just to help develop a little bit of self-awareness, a little bit of introspection, a little bit of sort of self-analysis, psychoanalysis, whatever you like to call it, just to help buffer you when times do get harder and when some of these stress reactions maybe start to get a little bit out of hand. Right, next exercise. You're a paramedics or student paramedics. What are some aspects of being a paramedic that make you even more susceptible to stress? Have a chat just amongst yourselves for starters. What is it about this job that makes you even more susceptible? What compounds what might already be lurking there? Yeah.
You having a part of everybody else's stress on a regular basis.
Yeah. So like group stress, compounded stress.
Like patient stress.
Yeah, good one. So you're taking on other people's stress. Great point. Yeah, Braden.
Long hours, long shifts.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working some overtime as well.
Yep.
Overtime for yourself.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, Sam.
Well, it was on the same line, broken up sleep patterns.
Yeah. So it messes with your circadian rhythms, right? And that's going to mess with anybody. It's going to mess with anyone's brain because your normal way of doing things is sort of all out of whack. Sorry that I'm buzzing every time I go over there. I'll take someone from over this side. You guys are so keen. Who haven't we heard? You got so much. I know. She's in my class. Yes.
Trying to live like 2 lives because you have to do all your shifts.
Yeah.
You also have to go to university.
Yeah.
So like in the real world.
Yeah, 2 lives, 3 lives, 9 lives. Yeah, you're just living in so many different worlds, right? Yeah. And isn't it hard sometimes to not allow them to cross over as you know, because you sort of, you want to compartmentalise, you want to keep work at work and home at home, but they do cross over and stress comes home. I mean, I remember going to a cot death one day when my little girl was 2 and I went to a 2-year-old, when she was 2 months, went to a 2-month-old little boy who died, and I took it home, and it stressed me out, it stressed my wife out. Yeah, it's hard, it's real hard. Yeah, good point, thanks.
Not always having someone to open up to and vent to.
Not always having someone you can vent to. Yeah. So it's like maybe a bit of isolation, perhaps. I don't want to put my words onto your sense.
Some people, they come home, they've got stress, and they can't talk to their partner because the partner doesn't understand.
Yeah. Okay, I like
So you've got to bottle it.
Yeah, bottle. Yeah. Okay, good one. Yeah. Dot, yeah.
An infection of taking on other people's stress.
Yeah.
When you're with the patient, there's also an expectation / belief that you're going to fix it as well, and you will do that.
Right.
Because you will be dealing with their stress, but you're going to make it all better. They think that
Yeah.
you should.
So weight of expectations, and you get those expectations from all over the place, eh? Yeah. Yeah, good point. Who hasn't? Yes, had a question here. Yes.
Just the stress of the kind of inevitable probability of being stressed.
Yeah, you know it's going to come, right?
Yeah. Like my first day was fairly stressful, and for a good 2 months after that,
Yeah.
I was just stressed by my shifts because I was stressed that I was going to be stressed.
Yeah, stress begets stress. Yeah, I totally, yeah, that's a great point. Stress leads to more stress. Can you guys see this over there? I'll move it out, eh? Might stop me from buzzing as well. Right, what else? Trauma, yeah, absolutely.
Actually, more sick patients rather than just trauma.
Well,
So just sick patients.
And then if you want to add that, maybe probably much traumatic patients and mental health patients.
Yeah.
Fix it.
You can't fix it. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, we go to situations and we're there because we want to fix people, but we can't always do that. We have a hard enough time trying to fix ourselves. The same, yeah. Dan.
Needing to maintain a constant level of focus.
Yep.
So regardless of what you're going to, you have to be constantly your brain's active and you're mentally sort of working.
Yeah. Yep. Constant focus. Yeah, very much. Just a couple more. Yeah.
Especially as a student, there's a lot of pressure to be clinically developing yourself every day,
Mm.
and always having to know what's happening and be up with the times and knowing everything about what each patient is going through. You feel like you have to know everything,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
It's pressure for clinical development.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, Albie.
The fact that we're both, I feel like being a professional driver and being a professional person that goes to trauma
Yeah.
are both very stressful things.
Yeah, yeah.
And you kind of put them together, and it's just like a wall of stress.
Who wants to keep on doing this job, right? Have I turned you completely off yet? Yeah, so driving stress. Driving plus everything else. Then got one more thing that's killer response. Yeah.
Me?
Yes, go for it.
So I think a lot of people go to their job and they have a certain task list to complete that day, but we kind of show up and just wait for tones to hit us in the head. Like, you know, kind of sit around and just wait for something really gnarly to kick off or not. And if you get one of those shifts where you're sitting around for 12 hours on the edge of your seat and nothing happens, and then you go home and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you like go to it next day and you're like, oh my God, is it all about to kick off? Or like what's...
So...
Never having certainty.
Right, the lack of certainty.
Okay, today I'm going to go and fix that.
Unpredictability.
And might not fix that this and that.
Yeah. Were you going to add to something around that? Yeah. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It's just this constant like feeling of the unknown.
Yeah.
And like there's nothing you can do to
Yeah.
deal with it until you leave. And then you're just left with this sense of like nothingness. Even though you know that like because you didn't have to do anything, that meant that like X number of people weren't whatever. But it's still there, that feeling of like you accomplished nothing.
Stressed about being stressed. Yeah. But yeah, it's it weirds off. So what were we going to say about them? There's so much in there. Put into anticipation. Yeah, nice one, nice one. Pre-traumatic stress. Yeah. You should, like, man. Is that a thing? Because it should be, and you should patent that. And anticipatory stress. Yeah, my most stressful job as a paramedic was when I worked in Greytown. Greytown's a fantastic place in the Whitireia, but I'd be lucky to have one job a day. This is back in the day. It's busier now. Now that all the Aucklanders and Wellingtonians have found out it's a cool place to live. But when I was there, it was so quiet, and we just sat around doing nothing all day, and I was stressed the whole time because I never actually knew if I was going to be good enough to do what needed to be done when the inevitable came along. Right. Okay, here we go. So now I've completely turned you off, hopefully. No, hopefully I haven't. But the reality is that life can be stressful and this work can be stressful. We've done that. Right. I would really love to have a mother elephant just to cuddle under sometimes. I just think that'd be cool. But there are some things that we can do to help us cope with stress. So maybe cope before stress comes along, or cope when the stress is sort of present in our lives. There are lots of things that we can do. Have a little chat again, and what are you laughing at, Rose? Have a little chat again and come up with some solutions. Share your solutions for dealing with stress as it comes along. Rose is going to be presenting later, so she's probably feeling the stress right now. All right, so have a little think about that. The drink. break up the conversation, but I'm going to break up the conversation. Do I have to whistle again? Thank you. All right. Yeah. Okay. Throw it out there. What are some strategies that you have or you think could work to help you cope with some stress? Yes.
Decide what's stress and what's distress.
Oh, okay, what's the difference? Yeah.
Life when I operate.
Yeah.
Something that drives me some challenges, but when it gets to distress, that's my problem. So if you make a job too stress-free, I won't find it challenging.
Good point. Because stress can actually be a really good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it can drive you to excel.
Stress may be a different word for different people and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So let's just say differentiate between good stress and bad stress, something like that.
A lot of psychologists refer to it as facilitating and facilitating.
Yeah. Good point. Yes. Yoga. Yoga is awesome. Cool. Yoga's good. Yeah. You're allowed to talk this time. It's the last time though. Okay, no.
Actually, I don't want to use stuff.
You don't want to use it? Okay. So the next one?
Just on, I mean, how we were talking about last night, not making this your whole life.
Yeah.
Something outside of diversity, paramedic.
Diversity. Yeah, great point. Great point. Yeah, that's great. So I'm taking all of these. I'm going to hold on to you, not literally. Steve.
Education.
Education.
Strings to that.
Yeah.
One is the more you know, the more you understand
Yeah.
what some of those stressful jobs are.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, on those quiet stations where you're sitting and you're talking about for long periods of time, you're actually sitting there studying, you're not getting all worried about what may or may not happen.
Yeah, and keeping your brain active.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they say that ignorance is bliss, but I think ignorance would drive me nuts. I'd struggle with that, actually. Yeah, yes. Yes, you.
Having someone to like vector and so you get another perspective on how
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Venting's really important.
Yeah.
Yep. Diet. Tell us about your diet. Yeah. Sorry, say that again.
It's going to drive back to me. Eating well.
Eating well.
Really important.
Yeah.
Take your food with you on this ship.
Yeah.
Don't be reliant on buying rubbish when it comes up. You need to eat well.
Yeah, you do. It makes a big difference, eh?
Make sure you've got your proteins.
Yeah.
And you feed well.
Yeah.
People come in and they're like absolutely exhausted and stressed and they go
Yeah.
a packet of chips and a bottle of Coke
Yeah.
and I've seen them do it and then we're like, that's not going to end well, and she's like, I know, but that's what I need right now.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, oh, I feel bad. And it's not going to maintain you at all.
That's not.
And I think it's really, really important that we eat well all the time, not just at work.
Absolutely.
Because that keeps your immune system up.
It does. It does. Good point. Yeah, Sheena.
I think there are lots of things that you can control, as you know, like diet, being hydrated, exercise, getting out there, having routines, going to bed at night. It's weird to me, a lot of it is focusing on controlling things that you can.
Control what you can. Good point. So you said routines, exercise. Good one. So V, you had a, Linda, you had your hand up before. We haven't heard from you. Support networks. Good one. Yeah, fantastic. Yes.
Kind of more preventive method, but like knowing your limits.
Yep.
And knowing when to say that's enough and to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important to know your limits. It's so important to know ahead of time what your, when you actually need to stop, because otherwise you find yourself getting past that point and think, oh my gosh, I should have stopped half an hour ago, or whatever the situation was. Sarah?
And I think one of the things I learned early on is don't sweat the small stuff. So you're in a really cool job, trying to meet different people all the time. You're an annoying patient, you're only with them half an hour, you're taking them somewhere else. So.
Yeah. yeah, true.
So, sometimes we sit there expecting stress, and turn that around and go, actually, what a cool job. Sometimes you get speed and other people can't, like Sarah will do it. You're going out of all these different homes, you get to see different architecture, you see how people landscape, you get all these different ideas. Like, so, on the wall and you're distracted, it's like, that's right, I'm going to see the patient. And so it's turning that around, going, actually, what a cool job.
Yeah.
All these different environments that, I'm privileged that other people don't get to see in their jobs. Like the same square space day in, day out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I do now.
There's no such thing as a boring job or an interesting job.
I think it makes you appreciate what you've got and don't sweat the small stuff. Actually, it may not be a big stress job we're going to. Yes, it's probably going to be a real cool job we're going to. And sometimes there's a person that needs a bit of help at this time, and so you anticipate you're going to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Good one. Yeah.
It's also recognising that you're reducing someone else's stress significantly when you turn up, so you think, that's a good thing for that.
I've taken the environmental stress out of this person by being there and holding hand. See that as a benefit.
Yeah. You're helping.
Recognising the good work that you do.
Yeah. Give yourself a pat on the back. You actually do a fantastic job in a hard set of circumstances. You do a damn good job. Jay?
Learning from some of the mistakes in that, instead of truly to come away and look at something that I actually want this, and you actually look at that as well.
It is totally normal to make mistakes, and it's totally normal to beat yourself up. That's okay. That's life. That's human. We all do that. Try not to sit in that for too long. Try and get some perspective. But when you're feeling that self beat up, when you're feeling just really sting, you actually didn't do the job that you wanted to do. Just say, this is life. How am I going to turn it around to make it into something positive? Okay, it's a bit of a mind game, and it can be a challenge, but you can do it. Yeah, Dan.
Practicing your methods for stress relief. So, for example, you meditate, realizing that it's kind of like physical fitness, where if you go for a run and your legs start hitting and your heart starts beating, you're not running wrong. That's just what happens when you run. So you're meditating, you're like, oh, I'm still stressed. Realizing that that's normal. That's just part of processing, practicing to get better at it. Like it's a skill like anything else, rather than thinking that's a switch that you turn your stress off by going for a run.
Yeah, good. So, and like when you do yoga, was it hard first time, or in the early days?
I found it quite emotional.
Did you? Yeah. Found it quite emotional. Yeah.
Breathing, focus that you have to, it takes your mind off everything else.
Yeah.
Focusing on doing the positions right.
Yeah.
Breathing.
Yeah, good. So back to yours, Dan. That's really interesting. What was I going to say? Practice. Right, anything else? Any other burning things that you do to help manage and get through stress?
Occasionally just like rewarding yourself, treating yourself.
Yeah.
You can't afford coffee out every week, maybe give yourself a fortnight. And so like little boosters, I guess.
Yeah. And maybe plan those in. Like what I used to do was every second set of days off, I'd plan in a day to go out and see some freaky foreign film down at the Paramount Theatre and have a massage. And I just that'd be cool. That would be cool. No. But, you know, and I'd look forward to that every second set of days off. That would be, you know, and, you know, I'd set a little bit of money aside for that. It was about sort of, you know, amazing value massage on Plymouth Steps in Wellington, $35 for a full hour massage. Brilliant, go there. And then you can get deals through the entertainment book for Paramount Movie Theatre, half price. You know, work it out so it's a bit cheaper. Lots of things you can do to help get through stress. Oops. Hidden stories. We all have one of those. A hidden room within our soul, within our mind. That heavy toll that someone who understands is hard to find. A regret, a grief, an embarrassed truth, or a thief of peace. A life-sapping addiction or an apparent contradiction. A lust, a fear, your own private burden to bear. Hidden stories, tying you in knots, but you won't let no one near. John Milton was a fantastic guy. He wrote Paradise Lost, amongst many, many other great novels. And he said this one thing that has always stuck with me, and he said that the mind is its own place, and of it can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven. The mind is its own place, and of it can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven. Does anyone want to be brave and say what they think that might mean? Yeah.
For me, if I'm having a bad day or whatever, I just think my own happiness. But to me, it's happiness is the positive.
Yeah.
What I can or accept, but it's negative, and I'm just going to start that.
Right.
It's up to you. It's all in you.
Right, so it's up to you to determine what you do with that experience, good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the power within you to change outcome.
Yep.
And it's just about having the right mindset.
There are times though when it's really hard and you can't actually get through that mindset, and that is just all consuming. I think you're right, Roy. I think you're right, but there are times when it's really hard just to snap out of a bad way of thinking, and especially maybe if you've got maybe a mental illness or something like that, or depression or anxiety, it's really hard to snap out of that. You're right, but there are some buts that I'd say go with that. Yeah, you do. That's exactly right. So yeah, you've got to have those tools ahead of time to help you through those times. Yeah, Sheena.
Some people are a little bit more predisposed to more of that, like morality type personality and melancholy.
Yeah.
And other people, it's a lot easier to be glass half full.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that might depend on your upbringing and experiences.
It's hugely complex, eh?
Yeah.
Lots of different factors that make you predisposed to a certain way of being or a certain way of experiencing the world. You know, some are predisposed to being more melancholy. And you know, I'm not a counsellor or psychologist or anything like that, but it's very complex, yeah. Yep. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So there are lots of factors that are going to help your mind to be okay on the inside regardless of what's going on outside, but it's going to be quite complex. It's going to be quite different for each person. Yeah, Emily.
It was a really amazing quote from Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
He was free to say about the deciding to walk out of prison and come to that grave of bitterness, or was he still in prison?
Yeah. And it is a choice. You know, you've got a choice to make.
Yeah, I think sure. Speaking to Tommy with a bunch of long-serving paramedics who might be all happy with the bad thing happens, second edition over time.
Yeah.
And I made the comment, I said, now what if I could get the ability of men in black things? That. Take all away. And everyone in the room said, this is who I am.
Yeah.
If you take that, that's what you've grown into, because you've been through those experiences. And that's I guess is making the heaven out of hell.
Yeah.
own it and be proud of what you managed to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep. You're quite right, Howard. Another way I like to think of Milton's words, having hell inside when it's heaven all around. You know? The alternative is having heaven inside when it's hell all around. And you will know some people and they're going through really tough times and you're thinking, how are you bearing up? How are you handling this? Whatever reason, they're in a place internally, maybe with their supports, maybe they've got all of these different things going on that help them to stay sane, even though they're going through a really, really tough time. So I just want to tell you some things that I do know, because I've spent a lot of time reflecting on what enables some people to cope when others might not. You won't be able to stop hell. Hell will come along for each one of us at some stage in our life. Some of you may have experienced that. It may be the death of a loved one. It may be a relationship breakup. It may be a career failure. It may be a school failure. It may be an illness. You won't be able to stop that hell coming along for you. It will come at some stage. You will have grief. You will have failure. You might even completely screw up. And there might even come a time when you actually just want to give up. And, I'm not here to give you any answer to your own situation. That's something that you will need to work through yourself and with the people around you. But there are some habits that I've worked out to help keep that heaven inside my mind, regardless of the hell that's gone on around me. And, I have experienced that hell around me when I have felt like everything is just completely rocky. But thankfully, I've been able to stay pretty strong regardless. Not always. So I want to just share just some of the little things that I have learned along my own particular journey. They've worked for me, they might work for you, they might not, that's okay. First one is just be who you are. You're here, I'm here, and I just actually know that I'm important. I know that I have value just intrinsically because I'm alive. Radically accept. So that's actually making a choice to accept. So making a choice to accept other people exactly as they are, whether you like them or not. Just accept them as they are. They are who they are. You are who you are. And accept yourself as well. Accept yourself just as you are, with all of your good points and your dodgy points. The third thing is notice. So notice the things around you. Take the time just to stop and think, man, that's cool. I'm just looking out the window actually. Well, there's a beautiful landscape of the hills over there. That's cool. I like what Sarah was saying when you're on the job. Notice things in the house. Notice the architecture, notice the landscaping, notice the artwork, notice the mess even. Just let that be what it is, but notice it. Be grateful. There's something in every single situation that you can be grateful for. And you know what? Even if you're going through a really bad thing, find something within that bad thing to be grateful for. Choose to suck the good life out of it. Because I think that every experience that we have, especially the bad ones, they're a wasted experience if we don't take something good out of it. So you've got to hunt for the good in that bad experience and learn from that and allow that to help you to grow. I'm okay. I'm okay just as I am. I'm not perfect, I know that, but I'm okay as I am. Good enough is good enough. We strive for perfection, but just being okay with being good enough is really important. There's good in all things. There's good in all people. There's good in the worst of people. There's good in the worst of our own moments even. This one has really helped me to relate to people. I'm a shy person normally, and I struggle to talk to people. But what has actually really helped me is that I actually have something in common with every single person on this planet. And as part of my role with Paramedics Australasia, I've gone around all the political parties. I've met politicians from all of the political parties, and normally I'll be completely freaked out and intimidated by those people. But what I realised, I've got something in common with every single one of those people. I've also got something in common with every single person who might be homeless on the street. I've got something in common with every single one of you. So I've actually realised that if we can find what we have in common, then I can relate, and we can actually both be secure and have a meeting of minds. It's really important to remain teachable. Never ever stop learning, like what you said there, Steve. Something I do every night, or just about every night when I'm either doing the dishes or making the kids' lunches, is I listen to a TED talk online, just on my iPhone, because TED talks are, they have speakers, inspirational speakers, and from all sorts of walks of life, but it helps to give me an experience or an understanding of something from a completely different sphere from what I am in right now. So remain teachable. Stay accountable, so have someone close to you who you can talk to and share your experiences with. Everyone needs a higher power, and for everyone that will be different. And this does come down to spirituality, because we are actually all spiritual people, and that's not necessarily religion. It can be whatever that spirituality is for each individual person. But what I've found is I actually need to have something that's just a bit bigger than me that I'm accountable to and answerable to. So for some people it might be God, for some people it might be their family, for some people it might be the universe. Whatever that might be, it's something bigger than yourself that helps put you in perspective. Connect with others, as you said, Belinda. Be honest. We put up these walls sometimes, hey, but be honest with yourself and be honest with other people. Bad will come along, and sometimes you can't actually deal with bad at the time, so maybe you just need to put the bad to the side if you can do that, and come back to it for a time of stress. So maybe that'll be a disagreement you have with someone. Say, look, let's just park that. I can't deal with that right now. We will come back to it because it's important, but let's just come back to that when we're feeling a little bit more strong. Don't fear the bad. Okay, bad doesn't need to be a bad thing. Speak your feelings, so be honest about your feelings. If you're with someone, say with your partner or something, say, look, I'm really sad right now. I'm having a really rough day and I'm just feeling really sad. I just need to tell somebody that. It's incredibly powerful to actually say your feelings to somebody else. Put yourself first. Like I said, if you're not in a good space, you won't be able to help other people. And that goes in family, it goes in work, it goes in all areas of life. Get physical, get out running, do yoga, go to the gym, swim, walk, do whatever that brings you back into your body and helps to nurture your own body. We can choose, like life is a choice, and there are choices that we make every day of our lives, but there are some times that we actually can't choose because you can't get out of your head, and accept that might be the case for you some days as well. It's important to spend time and just to stop, to listen to yourself, listen to others, listen to the sounds around you. Breathe. Just focus on your breathing and just be. This mind of mine, just wishing wine, finds naught but guilt unslowed with time. A waste, I say, discarding days. No need for me to any longer stay. Just lone degree, a husk on the sea. Some refused part, unwelcome, me. Grand all of hell, take me in arms, for Bedlam's curse don't give a darn. But when this crude, splayed out pretender holds just a hope of hope's faint splendour, brief belief can ache once more, if belief's release trades in its war. And searching parched wastes dust for life, life forms in places that once held strife. I live, I rise, I am not done, my trust defies, I am but one who holds to shards of life. I rise, I live, I hope, I fight. Thanks very much.